What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Everybody in between, because we don't judge around here. Even the ladies, ladies, gentlemen, and the non-binary. How's everybody doing today? You might not know it, but I don't never go live on Thursdays. I spend time in my private community, Safe Space. And if you want to know what Safe Space is, you'll find out about that shortly, later. But that's not what we're going to talk about today. Today, we got a special episode for grooming. We're going to talk about, can adults be groomed? And we're going to hang around the spiritual abuse and exploitation conversation a little bit. I'm going to tell my story, my experience in that world. All right. So we got a lot to talk about today. At the end of the show, I'm going to put a link in the comments where you can come on live and share your story. You can come on live and ask questions. We can have a live conversation. So if you're on right now, you want to stay to the end of the show, because I'm going to put the link for you to come on stage with me in the comments, because I got a feeling that this story is more prevalent than what many may think. I'm going to say this, we're going to get into it. I have been working on an abuse series since December the 18th. Part 1 was the message to the abuser. Part 2 is advice to the victim. And then part 3 is now, can adults be groomed? Before we get started, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment. It is imperative that you do that. Let's get the word out. Inbox your family and friends so that we can be a part of this conversation, all right? All right. Let's get this party started. I didn't even introduce myself. Hey, I'm Terrill Hill, and I'm a soul healer, and I help people connect with themselves. And if you watch this and you say, there's something about this guy, I want to connect with him so that he can help me, we can discuss that in the middle. I'm going to throw some adverts in there. Let's get into it, all right? Now, you might say, what's the purpose of today's show? The term grooming has came about recently publicly and in my private community. I was getting ready for our live Conscious Culture show on Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. And a Safe Space member asked, have any of you been groomed before? And when they asked that question, it snatched me up. And I sent the question to my producer. And I said, we got to do a show about this. And as we were talking, we decided just to have the show today. And so the purpose of this conversation is to talk about that, but specifically in spiritual spaces. Because let me tell you this, and I'm not going to get too far off the path here, but I don't know if there's any kind of grooming, like grooming in spiritual spaces. I don't know if the success rate of your average groomer can touch how it works in spiritual spaces. Why? Because of the God element. The element called God, where if you can make someone believe that God's voice comes out of their throat, you could almost have them do anything. And that is the detriment of connecting with people whose hearts are not pure, because you believe them as the voice of God and they got you. And let me say this, not that they got you, but there are some people that are in abusive situations and spiritual spaces and places, and they are afraid to leave the abuse because they feel like if they leave the abuse, they're leaving God. Anybody know what I'm talking about? That's why I believe that your best groomers are in a spiritual space. Your best groomers got the title prophet, apostle, teacher, group leader, care pastor, associate pastor, evangelist. Because if they can get you to believe that they are an ambassador of God, they can get you to almost do anything. Y'all let me know in the comments what you think. I'm interested in what you think, whether you agree with me or not. I'm also going to share my story of how I have been groomed as an adult, or some say exploited when you are an adult. Because some people, now I've been doing my study about, and this is why this is titled, Can Adults Be Groomed? Because I've been doing my study about grooming, and some say that children, adults cannot be groomed. It's more exploitation, right? So we can go back and forth on whether or not it should be grooming or exploitation, but we know what we're talking about now. Whether you believe adults cannot be groomed, they can be exploited, or you believe adults can be groomed, we're on the same page, right? So I'm going to also, a little later on, tell my story of how I was groomed as an adult in a spiritual space, all right? All right, first let's discuss what grooming is, all right? Now, grooming is when someone builds a relationship, trust, and emotional connection with a child or young person so they can manipulate, exploit, and abuse them, all right? So, grooming is when someone builds a relationship, a trust and emotional connection with a child or a young person so that they can manipulate, exploit, and abuse them. But in context of this conversation, it's not just young people. Now, so build relationship, a trust and an emotional connection with a person to manipulate and exploit them. That's grooming. Build a relationship. Someone builds a relationship with you. They build trust and emotional connection with you to exploit you. Grooming. Or if it's an adult, exploitation. All right? Now, who can and can't be groomed? 1 second here. Oh, wrong one. Sorry. Anybody can be a groomer, no matter their age, gender, or race. In adult relationships, grooming behavior can be anything from excessive compliments and gifts to inappropriate touching or pressuring someone into something they don't want to do. So how it works in a spiritual space is, I just see there's something about you. You need to be mentored. You need a spiritual father. You got a gift and an anointing, but there's something you need to come up under my covering. Has anybody in the comments ever been told that before? Hold on, let's go back to this. Let me read some of these comments, my bad. Grooming is something that is hard for me to understand. I'm really shocked that this exists in many places. Because what happens is, especially when it comes to spiritual spaces, John, because in certain sects of religion, you don't need credentials. You just need to be gifted or anointed. You need to fit the cultural construct of church. You need to understand the flow of that space. It's the only place where you can be over children's ministry and not have a background check. Over children's ministry and not have children. It's a wonderful place to hide out in. Even teachers got to go through credentialing and background checks and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But I could get up right now, join a church, speak the language of that church, go up in the ranks, and be placed as youth adult coordinator or young people coordinator or whatever, just based on my gravitas. Let's see. Adults under 25 certainly can be groomed if they begin at a young age and has continued for decades. Yes. Woo! My word. My Lord. Let's see. No, but I have witnessed it. The fathering doctrine is specific grooming model started by Fort Lauderdale 5. Ooh. All right. What was that saying? Oh, who can and can't be groomed? Anybody can be a groomer, no matter their age, gender, or race. In adult relationships, grooming behavior could be anything from excessive compliments and gifts to inappropriate touching or pressuring someone into doing something they don't want to do. And if you find yourself in that type of situation where your mentor, teacher, pastor, father, mother is love bombing you and then using that love bombing to get you to do things you don't want to do, you, my friend, have been groomed or potentially is being groomed. You know, you join a space, you join a ministry, you join a church. They just grab you in, they love you, they invite you to all the events, they invite you to everything, they invite you over their homes. They buy you new clothes, new cars. They make sure you live right. They make sure you become the best version of yourself. And then when they ask for a favor and you push back or come back a little bit, they remind you of what they did. Well, I was there for you. If it wasn't for me, you couldn't do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Nobody, but me. And now, consciously or subconsciously, you feel obligated to give in to something you want to do, give in to the pressure. Especially, because we're talking about spiritual spaces, when the person is the voice of God in your life. Now, let me tell you what I teach my spiritual community. I'm going off a little bit, and if my producer thinks I'm going off too much, text me, please. Listen, I tell people in my spiritual community, there should not be a voice louder than your voice when it comes to hearing from the divine. There should not be a voice louder than your voice when it comes to hearing from the divine. I don't care who prophet so-and-so is. What is you saying to you? What is your source saying to you? What is your God saying to you about you? And that is a problem. Watch ministries, watch organizations who have a voice, the main voice, the only voice. Because that is a breeding ground for grooming. Because you're believing what comes out of this person's mouth. I'm going to just say it like this. Watch spaces where they do not teach you how to hear God, your source, your energy, the universe, wherever you pull from for yourself. If the rhetoric is always come to me, come to me, come to me, there is a strong potential that grooming can be in that space. Did you hear me? If you are part of any organization where you are not being empowered, you're only being taught about the power of something or someone else, you are putting yourself in a space to be groomed or exploited. You want to check the motive of anybody you follow? Look for the level of empowerment. Yeah. Look for the level of empowerment. I remember somebody told me one time, said, well, you need a prophet in your life. I said, why? I'm my prophet. I am my prophet. You need a mentor. Why? And don't get me wrong. And here is the pitiful part about this. Oh, I just got my text message. Here is the pitiful part about this. I'm going to say this and keep on going. In essence, they are not wrong. But that statement has been so manipulated to get people to submit, not to be empowered. So let me say this. It's a farce. It's a lie. It ain't real. It's not true. The first prophet you will ever encounter in your life is you, for you. All right, now let me stay on course here. Because I got all. Did you hear what I said? Because if that person was so powerful, you would have the fruit that matched their power. And I counsel people day in and day out that have been in spiritual and religious spaces, and yet they do not have the manifestation of what is promised to them. Why? One reason and one reason only, because they have not found themselves. They found the prayer group, they found the prophet, they found the church, they found the community, but have not found themselves. The prophet you need in your life is hid in the inner course of your belly, in the inner sanctum of your spirit, not no goddamn church or community. All right, let me get back before I get my second text. The purpose of the pastor or the prophet or the teacher should be confirmation. All right. I've been fussy today. Safe Space would tell you I was fussed. I've been fussing all day. Lord have mercy. All right. Grooming just doesn't happen to children. It's called exploitation. Hold on, let's go back to here. Correct, it is a farce. The kingdom of God is within you. I'm gonna say this and I'm getting back on course. But let me tell you this. Anything that causes you to have to reach outside of yourself to find your God, your source, your message, your universe, your energy is a lie. It is a farce. It is set up to get you to submit to that person, place, or thing's program, agenda, voice, word, pocket, self-esteem. Because a lot of these people, I'm done. Y'all don't comment no more on that, please. Y'all don't comment on, please. Let me see what John has said. First of all, nobody needs to be going to a pastor's house. There has to be some type of separation. I agree. I absolutely agree. All right. Nobody comment no more. No, keep commenting. I'm just have to ignore him. All right. Steps to grooming. Now, Manasseh Jordan, and I don't even like getting into this kind of stuff, but we hear, hell, Manasseh Jordan, I don't keep my ear to the streets. I promise you I don't. But this was brought to me. My producer put this in the notes, so I got to read it. No, I need to discuss this. I'm mildly joking. All right. Manasseh Jordan put out a video recently about grooming. All right. Steps 1. Data collection and report, building comfort. What are you into? What do you like? It's a safe space to tell me everything. Let me tell you this. And I'm gonna share my personal story. I think after this, let me look at my notes. Hold on one second. Hey, welcome to Safe Space with Terrill Hill, by the way. For those of you guys that coming on don't know who I am, I'm Terrill Hill. I'm a soul healer. I help people connect with themselves. I have a private community. Oh yeah, after this, I'm sharing my personal story. So if you're on here, don't go nowhere because I'll be sharing my personal story of grooming right after I finish talking about these steps. Manasseh Jordan, if I'm correct, put these steps to grooming. And if you don't know who he is, Google him. All right. Number 1, data collection and report, building comfort. What are you into? What do you like? Is it a safe space to tell me everything? It's a safe space to tell me everything. First thing they want to do is get in your business. Let me tell you this. If you're just now meeting someone and the relationship is mentor-mentee, or pastor, member, or teacher, student, in any space, not just spiritual spaces, sexuality should not be coming up at all. They should not be asking you no sexual questions. Oh, you look like you into so-and-so. Is that true? I don't even care if it's prophecy. Prophets ain't got to say everything come to their mind. Why are you bringing up? I was listening to a prophecy from somebody that sent it to me, and the prophet was like, I see you, something with your sexuality. Why are we talking about this? What does my sexuality have to do with my soul? Why are you asking me all these questions about what I like? What kind of underwear I wear? You look like you run through the girls. Nah, red flag. All right, step 2. Because I got to keep on going. Testing the waters. Inappropriate jokes, conversations, and statements are innuendos into what turns you on, what do you like sexually, almost as mean to either advise, counsel, or spiritually cover if you say something wrong. Now, listen. I know this is the truth. Watch leaders who darn near demand you to tell all your business. They want to know who you had sex with, how much you watch porn, how much you masturbate. Why is that important information? I know people who do not have sex, do not watch porn, do not masturbate, and soul still twisted. Sir, untwist my soul and stay out my business. So it is. Can you please untwist me? That's all I came for, untwisting. All right. But there is this hyperfixation for some people when it comes to sexuality and what people are doing in the bedroom. And let me say this as a freebie. If that person always preaching on sex, always preaching against homosexuality, always preaching against molestation, watch. Red flag. Did y'all hear what I said? I don't see these comments moving like they should move. Now, I done said what I said, safe space. All right, hold on. Then they move to another victim, feeling invincible by followers who blindly worship them and are ignorant to the truth. Now, let me say this. Number one, of course, but I need to say this real quick. We got to stop shaming people who come out and confess sexual molestation, sexual abuse, grooming, especially when it's man on man. I believe that if there wasn't such a cloud over homosexuality, which is really the church's fault, says actually y'all deserve what you get. You know what? You deserve what you get. Because there's such a cloud over homosexuality, specifically in spiritual spaces, that it is challenging to come out and say, Pastor so-and-so did this, prophet so-and-so did this, bishop so-and-so did this. Oh, well, you must be gay. You must enjoyed it. And it darn near makes the groomer invincible. I believe the moment the church sets the gay man free is the moment we find out who is truly causing treachery within the four walls. And maybe that's why they don't want the gay man to be free in the church, because their concubines will get set free too. All right. I told this producer I might not need to do this live, and they were like, "We'll do it live." I was like, "Let's do it live." But maybe that's why there is this I mean, gay men are all over the church, just shouting and popping and dancing and all the things, sliding and dipping in cano. Oh, by the way, I'm a gay man too, so I can say this. But they're still not free to be. Maybe it's convenience. Because if you free them up, they're going to leave you. You won't have your assistant can't cosplay as, your concubine can't cosplay as your assistant anymore. All right, let me stay the course. All right. I need to play a commercial according to my notes here. And then I'm going to come back and tell my personal story. Now, this commercial, guys, is 1 minute, all right? This 1 minute commercial ain't going to kill you. And plus, I'm about to tell my personal story of grooming. So you don't really want to go anywhere because you're going to miss it. So you either lose patience with this 1 minute commercial and miss my story, or stay till I get back. I would love for you to join our email community. In the description box of this video is a link. You click it, put your name and email address in the information, press submit, and you are going to be a part of our email community. But guess what? You got to check your spam box because there's a double opt-in. So you got to confirm that you truly meant to sign up. Would you like to be notified every time we go live? There's a simple way to do that. Join our free text club. All you got to do is text the Terrill Hill to this number, 833-458-3658. You just text it. Text the Terrill Hill to 833-458-3658. All right, this is the last announcement, and then we're going back to the content. I am gifted to help people become their best self, and I want to offer you a free consultation. There has never been one person that has had a free consultation with me that did not leave better than when they came, all right? All of that information I just went over is in the description box connected to this video. All right, let's get back to the content. All right, I've been rebuked. I've gotten the stanky eye. I need to stay to my notes, all right? So I'm back. I'm back. All right, here it is. If you don't want to know who I am, my name is Terrill Hill. I'm a soul healer. I help people connect with themselves. I have a private community called Safe Space. In the link of the video description box, whether you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, in the link of that video description box, you can join my private community for a 7-day free trial, all right? Click it. Now, you got to put your credit card in there, but if you're responsible, it ain't going to kill you because you don't like it, you can come on out. Now, if you ain't, I ain't giving you no refunds. I'm telling you, you ain't going to lose over there. We have 8:30 on normally 8:30 every Thursday. We have a private live. On Saturdays, we have a private prayer at 8:30 in the morning. It's invite only. You have to vet to get into that prayer, but you can't get into vetting until you join the community. We have discussion boards, a woman's room. You can DM me. You can literally DM me personally inside of that safe space. That link is in the video description box connected to this video. Again, a 7-day free trial subscription. And after the 7 days, it's only $10. And I promise you, the first 7 days, you're going to get $10 worth of value out of that. All right. All right. I'm going to play this clip real quick. And after this clip, it's a short clip. We are going to talk about my personal story of grooming.
Void, a completely empty space in your life, manipulated by your abuser to control you.
It is your responsibility to uncover how you got here. Finding yourself in a position to be abused is evidence that there is a void. Love or acceptance, loneliness, extreme poverty or neglect, homelessness, father trauma, fatherlessness, low self-esteem, rejection, desperation, or longing for an opportunity, and so much more. All these are points of access. A predator leans into your void to facilitate an environment for you to lower your inhibition. You have a void, and those same voids are the seat the predator sat in to then only weaponize them against you in a mastery art of manipulation and gaslight. All right, now if you want to know what that was part 2 of my abuse series. This is part 1, and that is advice to the victim. All right, that's advice to the victim. Let me tell my story. I'm going to read it, all right, because I think it's safer to read. Yeah, I think it's safer to read. My experience was shaped by my struggle with my sexuality in the absence of an environment where I felt secure enough to express myself. All right, what my void was. My void came from my homosexuality. And at the time, as a young preacher, I didn't have nowhere to call home to. I didn't have nowhere. When I said, now I had family and friends, don't get me wrong. But at the time, homosexuality was taboo in my culture and in my space. And so after an incident in college that challenged everything I knew my life to be, because I made a mistake as relates to my homosexuality, I found my self-worth diminished, and I felt isolated in a sea of overwhelming thoughts and emotions. Okay. And I didn't know where to go. I didn't know how I was going to get through it. This perception, coupled with my fear of compromising my ministry, because before I'm a gay man, I'm a minister. Before I'm a gay man, I'm an entrepreneur. And I felt like the thing that didn't mean that much to me outside of cultural construct was strangling and taking life out of the things that really meant a lot to me. Okay. It left me lacking, compromising my ministry left me lacking someone with whom I could openly discuss the burden of that incident and my grapple with my sexuality. In pursuit of spiritual guidance, I trusted someone who presented not only like a mentor, but also a friend and a confidant. I shared the incident, then revealed my most intimate and troubling thoughts, which led me to tears that night. Because for the first time in my life, I felt like, oh my God, I finally have someone I can talk to. I finally got someone that's safe enough to share this with. After listening and counseling, we shockingly became sexually involved in less than 24 hours of me sharing, which was not initiated by me. This illustrates how sexual exploitation can occur within spiritual settings. A person in such a position can sit in your voids. Remember, I just ran that clip about the voids. A person in such a position can sit in your voids, capitalizing on the opportunity to exploit your vulnerabilities and trust for their own gain. Just because you think you're ugly don't mean they think you're ugly. Just because you don't feel like you're worthy don't mean they don't feel like you're worthy. Your spiritual faith in them blinds you, preventing you from recognizing the exploitation until much later. And that is my story. How did it happen? What was my void? At the time, I could not figure out how to reconcile my sexuality with my spirituality. And I had made a mistake. I'll be more honest. I made a move on someone that I thought wanted the move, and they didn't. And my ministry found out about it, and I thought everything was over. And I was trying to, and I made a fool out of myself. And I needed someone that I could talk to. I needed a shoulder that I could lean on. I did not need a sexual partner. Now, let me say this. I didn't have no boyfriend. I didn't have no lovers. I had sex. Matter of fact, yeah, I didn't have no boyfriend. I didn't have no lovers. I didn't have no secret pen pals. At the time, I was pastoring a church. So it wasn't like I was out there already being promiscuous. I had made up my mind to try my best to figure out my sexuality, but focus on my spirituality. And that's that. So you could say, well, no, it wasn't. Only thing I was doing, I mean, y'all that know me in safe space know I'm honest. The only thing I was doing was watching porn and masturbating. And I was nervous to do that because I didn't have internet, but in the church office, and I had a dream I got caught. So I stopped doing that. I stopped doing that. I was minding my business, serving God and looking for help. And that is why I believe the spiritual space is the most vulnerable space for groomers to hide. All right. Yeah. Let's see what I am too. Let's see. This is a lot to take in, but I'm sure this is helping someone that can't talk to someone without being judged. Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. And let me tell you this. If you're watching this and you're a young preacher and you know you love God and you want to do ministry, but you don't know how to reconcile with your sexuality, my email address is written all over everywhere. Go in the video description, email me. I'll set up a free consultation. I'll talk to you and help you out. I don't want you to make the mistakes I made and beat yourself up when there's nothing to beat yourself up about. And all my years of ministry, God never told me. I have been praying and the Holy Spirit would talk to me about my attitude. I have been praying and the Holy Spirit would deal with me about my laziness. I was just on a fast and the Holy Spirit was dealing with me about not completing my to-do list. But the Holy of Holy Ghost that lives in my belly ain't never said, stop loving a man. And until that spirit talked to me, and I'm talking about not even now, I'm just talking about, and someone asked me this one time, has God ever told you about your sexuality? I said, well, you know what? I've heard about, at the time, I wanted God to say something because I wanted out. And I feel so sorry for these young black gay men in the church that is receiving a message from their God mouthpiece that they are less than. I feel so sorry for young gay black men in the church who, when they walk in the church, they masculine up a little bit, as if God don't like them the way they are. Or like me, they're in love with the church, but they connect with leaders who preach a message that they were never able to live up to and end up being involved. And let me say this. I want you guys to hear me and hear me clearly. Hear me? Hear me clear. Young man, if you are sleeping with your pastor, it is not going to end well with you. Leave now. Your pastor is not going to sacrifice his church for you. You will be the sacrifice. Young woman, if you're sleeping with your pastor or anybody in that space, any kind of leadership in that space, leave now. I don't care how in love you feel. You will get sacrificed. You will get sacrificed. That person is not going to give up their marriage. They're not going to give up their church. They're not going to give up their ministry. And for a lot of these people, their ministry is their money pipeline. You are a concubine. You are, excuse my French, a cum bucket. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm trying to wake somebody up so that you don't hurt or harm yourself and blame God for a sorry excuse for a mentor, teacher, prophet, pastor, bishop, apostle. All right. All right. All right. Okay. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to put the link. Oh, God knows that's the truth. But that's a whole rabbit hole. I'm going to try to get off of that. I'm going to put the link in the comments. And we're going to do one person at a time. We're going to do one person at a time. And we're going to do one person at a time. And if you want to come over here, leave a comment, ask a question or anything, you can. I'm going to put the link in the comments, and I'm going to give you an opportunity to get on. We're going to play the commercial again, and then let's have a discussion, okay? All right, hold on one second. Let me do this link real quick. Copy. I don't think I can pin the link in Facebook, but there's not a lot of things over there in Facebook anyway, right? All right. All right, so that's that. That's the link. Let me go over here and pin it real quick. Hold on one second. And then we're going to play the commercial. I want you to hold on one second. Hold on. Somebody leave a comment so I can stupid YouTube. YouTube is YouTube and on my nerves. Oh shoot, what have I done? I done did something. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to. Oh, pin message. Here we go. All right, I did it. All right, it's pin. All right, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna run the commercial real quick. I just pinned it. Come on. It's gonna be one at a time. Now listen, especially safe spacers. This is not safe space. So get in, leave a comment, your question, and let's keep it moving. All right. All right. I'll be right back. We're going to read this in 60 minutes. We're going to come back and we are going to discuss with each other. I would love for you to join our email community. In the description box of this video is a link. You click it, put your name and email address in the information, press submit, and you are going to be a part of our email community. But guess what? You got to check your spam box because there's a double opt-in. So you got to confirm that you truly meant to sign up. Would you like to be notified every time we go live? There's a simple way to do that. Join our free text club. All you got to do is text V Terrill Hill to this number, 833-458-3658. You just text it. Text V Terrill Hill to 833-458-3658. All right, this is the last announcement, and then we're going back to the content. I am gifted to help people become their best self, and I want to offer you a free consultation. There has never been one person that has had a free consultation with me that did not leave better than when they came, all right? All of that information I just went over is in the description box connected to this video. All right, let's get back to the content. All right, welcome to Safe Space with V Terrill Hill. We have done a series. Part one was advice to the abuser. Part two was advice to the victim. And now part three, can adults be groomed? My personal story about spiritual abuse and exploitation. Every time I feel like we're going to be done, something else comes up. And we're going to keep on rocking this series until we feel a release to stop. What we're going to do next is you may be using words that are triggers like, hold on. Oh, right. I thought about that. I thought about that, Life Nation. Yeah. That's why it's not safe for me to go live. What we're going to do now, I'm going to switch gears. And I'm going to switch gears and I'm going to let people come on. If you want to join the conversation, the link is pinned to YouTube. All right. It's on Facebook as well, but it's pinned on YouTube. Click that StreamYard link. Come on with me. Anybody can come on. You know, I'm a big boy. We can handle it. And I want to hear what you got to say. All right. So without further ado, we're going to bring Falana on. Hey, Falana, how are you doing today? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly. Clearly.
Right.
Oh,
talk to me.
Hit a spot with me. I just think about, I was laying on the couch, and if you could remember the time when we had the first husband and all of that going on, do you not remember that? Oh, and they were starting, the lesbian gays were starting churches because of the main reason they couldn't go to church and worship God because they were told they're going to hell. And I truly believe, had the church had the attitude and listened to the word, come as you are, number one, a lot of things would not have escalated to the point to where they were with AIDS, everything, because people, you had the DL. It calls the DL. It calls if you don't know what that means, y'all, down low.
Right.
Okay, so now you have people trying to fit in to society's way of life.
Right.
But in the process have torn up so many lives, and it wasn't intentional. It was, I know it wasn't. Couldn't be. Nobody would want to hurt somebody like that.
Right.
But it just turned into a spiral, a downward spiral that has affected kids' lives.
Right.
I mean, other people, an unsuspected wife, not knowing, ending up with AIDS because of this. Because of not being able.
And let me say this too.
In my opinion.
I love it. In my opinion, that's proper. I think what there's not enough focus on is these are lives. These are human beings. And the reality is, it's not that groomers are such bad people, it's that they put themselves, and here's the thing, might be some groomers out there who are not bad people. They were following ministry. They wanted to do well, but did it prematurely. They did it without healing. And that might be a lot of people, but that doesn't excuse you. Ignorance does not excuse you from harming people's lives. And I pity the soul who has a string of victims that they've misused and abused. And let me say this, to your point, Falana. Preachers who mistreat gay men and lesbian women in the church simply because you feel like that is against God, your hands are just as dirty. Someone's sexuality does not give you permission to speak bad at them, to mistreat them, to dishonor them, to disrespect them. One of the things watching The Color Purple, one of the things I realized watching The Color Purple is that patriarchy allowed men to treat women like racism allowed white people to treat black people. Same thing. Don't you tell me you know man of God and you're speaking ignorantly against people because of their sexuality. Don't you tell me you know man of love or woman of love and you give more grace to the heterosexual than you do the homosexual. You are a lie. Lordy bordy. All right, for those of you guys that's coming on, the link is pinned in YouTube. If you want to come in and join the conversation, if you're coming, come on. If not, I'm about to what time is it? Oh, hold on. Oh, this is good. I'm gonna get down off of here early. But all right, anything else you gotta say, Falana?
Yes, I just put it in the comments. And I'm just amazed how they want to send people to hell. Mm-hmm. Where in the hell are you going? That's my question.
Correct. Correct.
I mean, it's just so, it really gets my goat. Mm-hmm. Because like you said, it's such a powerful, and it's supposed to be such an intimate, that's the intimacy spiritually is supposed to be great.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And here it is. It's being used for torture.
Yeah, the church was supposed to be a safe space. It was never meant to be a place of torture. It was never meant. Let me tell you this. I should have blown my brains out many, many, many moons ago. And let me tell you something. I am a church boy. Hands clean, heart pure to this day. I'm honest. I don't hurt nobody. I don't harm nobody. I don't do nothing to nobody. I don't deserve the horror stories that I tell. And no one should go to the church and get those kind of horror stories. Look, this was me. I don't know if y'all can see that. This was me back in the day. Oh, is it too small? I can't get it no bigger than that. But this was me back in the day. And oh, yes, I can. Hold on one second. I think I can. Hold on. I think I can. Or maybe I can't. Hold on one second. Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can. Here it comes. Because I had to get the thing off of Facebook. Oh, here we go. Now it's going to come through a little sloppy update layout. It's going to come through a little sloppy, but this was me back in the day. Just innocent. Now I made some mistakes. I did sleep with one guy, but that was when I was like 18 years old. Then they set me down and they basically said, you don't get your act together. You don't get delivered from homosexuality. You can't preach no more. So guess what I did? I stopped. I didn't watch this. I didn't touch another man until I touched that mentor. I didn't touch another man until I touched that mentor. Hold on, that's not true. Oh, I did make that move with the person that I thought wanted to be made move, but it didn't work out. So yeah, that is true. And even then, when I did it, I was trying to go get spiritual help. I wasn't just trying to go find somebody else. So at any rate, I hope I didn't mess that out. I knew I did it. God dog it. I knew I did it. So at any rate, that's that, Falana. Thank you so much. Well, Falana don't go nowhere until I finish resizing this the way it should be. But there are a lot of people like me who didn't deserve that. And they got it anyway, all right? But thank you so much, Falana, for your input. Thank you so much for being you, Falana. I love you so much.
I just want to add one more thing, and you know this. I got the call. So can you imagine? We talked about this, right? And me looking like a dummy. That there, it was amazing.
Yeah.
And the response. And so you weren't getting away with it. This was early. You just weren't. But some of us were fooled a little bit. But,
Right.
It is just so sad because amazing person other than this.
Have mercy. All right, Falana. Thank you so much, lady in the purple. Love you. Chat with you later now.
Yes, the lady in the purple with her legacy.
I love. All right, chat later. All right. If you're just coming on, we are talking about can adults be groomed? This is part 3 of my abuse series. Part 1 was a prophetic warning to the abuser. Part 2 is advice to the victim. And part 3 is can adults be groomed? Spiritual abuse and exploitation. And if you're just coming on as well, I told my personal story a little earlier. We're going to bring somebody else on here. Hold one second. Hey, Mr. Thomas, how you doing, man? Now, and before Thomas go, if you want to join, you do not have to be a part of the Safe Space community. If you want to join, the link is pinned to YouTube. All right, Thomas, what you got?
Okay. To give you a little back history, after I graduated high school, I moved from Germany to the United States, and I moved to Atlanta, Georgia, and I was living with my grandfather. And when I left Germany to come back to the States, I was lost. I didn't really have a real plan of what I wanted to do. The plan that my family had for me was to go into the military, but I knew the military wasn't for me, and I decided to, walk my own path. I didn't follow in the footsteps of my father, and all of the men in my family went into the military. So when I joined Bishop Eddie Long's church, I was 20, I'm gonna say 22, 23. And I was introduced to New Birth by this gentleman. I'm not gonna speak his name, but when I went to visit the church, I really enjoyed the service. It was really, really good. And this is before Bishop Eddie Long became mega. And when his church was on Flat Shoals Road? Yep, Flat Shoals Road in Decatur. And the second time that I went to the church, I joined the church, and I remember going up to the altar or whatever, and Bishop Long came up to me, and the first question he asked me was, "What is my relationship with my father?"
That was the first
And
question?
that was the first question he asked me in my ear.
Oh, wow.
And so, you know, at this time in my life, me and my father were like on shaky grounds. We wasn't really talking and stuff.
Mhm, mhm.
Um, and so I shared that with him, and he said that he wanted to become my spiritual father. So
Hold on for a second.
yeah,
Oh, okay. No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
the first time I joined the church, he asked me when he said he wanted to be my spiritual father, and he gave me his cell number.
He gave you his personal number.
He gave me his personal number.
Got it. All right.
Um, and I had moved out of my grandfather's house and moved in with it was three other guys that were members of the church. By this time, I had joined the choir, and the three other guys that I was roommating with, they were also members of the choir and members of the church. And so they were like my big brothers. And I confided in them. And when I told them that, I had Bishop Long's, number, it was almost like I got the golden ticket.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
It was like I got the golden ticket. Not everybody has Bishop Long's number. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Some of them also had his number, but Bishop Long's church, New Birth, it was a young church, and it was a lot of young people that went to that church. A
Yeah.
lot of people who went to like Morehouse and Spelman, were members of his church. Also, like celebrities like Usher and were members of this church. So it was almost like I was mesmerized by all the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Bishop Long was anointed. I'm not gonna lie. He was anointed, and he was almost like larger than life.
Right.
As his church began to grow, and he became a mega. Uh, um, uh, uh, um, then the church was moved, and then he created, like, it was almost like a campus.
Right.
And so I say all to say that I didn't realize I was being groomed or whatever. He never um, made any sexual advances towards me, but after going to the church for a while, there was this one Sunday
Mm-hmm.
I went to church like regular, and I was just weeping during the whole service. And I was weeping leaving the church, walking to my car. God all of a sudden came out of the clouds and said audibly, like I could hear him, like there was no like, yes, this is God speaking. And he said to me, "This is the last day you are going to this church." And I was like, "What?"
Mm-hmm.
Why? You know what I'm saying? I didn't know, it came out later, you know what I'm saying, with the scandal and him and with little boys and stuff. And I said, "Oh my God, wow." That's why, God said, that was my last day.
Right.
And to see him like fall like that and ultimately passed away. I'm not
Mhm.
sure what he had, but it destroyed him.
Right. So did you ever reach out to him?
No.
Oh, okay. So you never even reached out to him to see what could have came out of the relationship. So you're not, it seems like one of those situations where hindsight 2020, you could have been one of the numbers.
Exactly.
How
Exactly.
old
Now, also, I was sexually harassed by one of the organ players. During the while while I was a member of the church, I had joined the choir,
uh
and um, I would have different ones to take me to choir rehearsal or whatever. And this particular night, the organ player, I forgot his name, um, offered to drive me back to my grandfather's house.
Okay.
And so I took his offer or whatever, and we're in the car talking, and just started asking me some um disrespectful questions. You know what I'm saying? Just like the grooming thing, what
So what were the questions?
sexual questions.
What were the questions?
Um, are you a homosexual? Do you like men? You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, I I I'm a gay man, you know what I'm saying? I am a homosexual man. Um, but um, just because I'm a homosexual man, that doesn't mean that I want your sexual advances. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Um,
Can you, but
uh,
can you hold 1 second, Thomas?
yeah.
Because there needs to be a highlight on it. And for those of you guys that are waiting, have patience. We're coming. And Thomas, I got to say this to me and you. We can't safe space this. We got to go ahead and nip it. But before you finish, I want to highlight this. Just because someone is same gender loving, don't mean they want you.
Right.
It is still, I I can't, I don't even know what to say that. And I think that there's this false narrative that if you are same gender loving, you're a whore, or
Mhm.
that you want. So it's easy to advance. Well, especially when it comes to the feminine men, because
Mhm.
it's like it's easier to be like, because like they got less to lose because they pretty much know you gay anyway. And that is so offensive.
Mhm.
Everybody is not whoring. Maybe you are whoring, but everybody's not whoring. And that is, and people got to stop doing that. Go
Mhm.
ahead, Thomas.
So I shared it with my with my roommates,
Mhm.
and they they wanted to report it or whatever, and I was just like, no, because I don't want to cause any trouble or whatever. But one of the assistant pastors got word of it, and they sat me down like I did something wrong. I
Okay.
was like, oh, I'm surprised I didn't leave the church then.
So
Um,
the church musician drove
yes.
you home, asking
Hmm.
you sexual questions.
Hmm. And you married with kids.
Okay, and this person is married
Hmm.
to a white
Supposed to
woman.
be straight.
So I'm
No, he
sorry.
was black,
I mean, I mean
They
not a white
all black.
woman. I'm sorry, my bad. I said white woman. So a heteronormative church musician asks you questions they should not have been asking.
Hmm.
The pastor finds out about it and sit you down.
Hmm.
That's what
They
I was.
said they
Go ahead.
said it was an investigation, and while doing the investigation, they had asked me to sit down. So I was just like,
Did
I'm
anything ever
surprised.
come out of the investigation?
No, because he kept on playing.
So nobody never came back to you and said anything.
No, they did
How long
not.
was it before that happened and you actually left that church?
Oh, it was years.
Whoa. You see what I'm
It was
talking about?
years. It was years.
You see the victims
Mhm.
that are left behind, that are, I know Thomas. Thomas came up in the same way I came up. We wasn't out there like that. He wasn't doing all that. It still ain't.
Nope.
Thomas don't deserve that story. And I know that we want to protect our precious jewel called the church. But, and I'm going to talk about this at the end of the show, the exposure that is coming and is here is so warranted.
Can I share also another story, VH?
Because
I'm sorry.
It's so warranted.
Mhm.
And I would advise you to do like Jesus did when they were going to stone that whore. You without sin cast the first stone. But if you know your hands ain't clean, put your rocks down.
Mhm.
All right, I'm gonna go back to that a little later. All right, Thomas, we got, and I'm for real this time.
So there was so I had a savior, I had an angel that went to New Birth. So I will speak his name, Pastor Will Horn. He is like my forever pastor.
Yeah.
So he was also a member of New Birth,
Mhm.
and he was actually one of like the youth pastors.
Mhm.
And you know, Bishop Eddie Long would, have those sermons, preaching against homosexuals and you going to hell and you're dirty and all this kind of stuff. And I remember one Sunday, I had went to the altar and Pastor Will, at the time he was, just a minister.
Yeah.
He came up to me, and when I tell you, oh my God, this oh my God, this like saved me. It opened up my eyes, and I'm like, oh my God, there is a God.
Mhm. Right.
So I'm at the altar, and he whispers in my ear, and he says to me that God loves you just the way you are, and you don't have to change. And um, fast forward, when I had left the church, Will also left the church, and he started his own church. So it was it was called the Power Center.
All right, Thomas. Now I'm not being rude, but me and Thomas, we're in safe space. Thomas, the clock.
That daggone clock. Okay, that's it. He was just my savior.
Well, let me affirm you. Let me affirm you. Everything that happened to you in the sacred space that we call church, you did not deserve. And I hope that in this season in your life, in the season to come, that you heal from the wounds that you did not cause. And that you get a new revelation of what God looks like to Thomas. And that after that, you become a voice alongside of me to go be, as someone say, a Harriet Tubman, to go help the abused young gay Black men in the Pentecostal church. Because at this point, we're older now, and we got to go help. I don't want nobody to go through what we went through, because we didn't deserve that. They told us to sell out, and we sold out. They told us to fast, and we fasted. They told us to pray, and we prayed. We wasn't running them streets. We wasn't on the apps and all that kind of stuff. We were, and still to this day live holy. And I think, Thomas, you and I can be examples of that, where we can help people learn how to balance their sexuality and their spirituality. Because there's a God out there that's in here that loves you deeply, sir. Not you, Thomas, I'm talking to the audience. Sir, you know that already. Sir, ma'am. And that God don't hurt you, and that God don't want you to change. That God wants you to evolve. That God wants you to be better. That God don't care nothing about your preference. All right. Thomas, I love you, brother. I love you long time. Thank you for sharing your story, man. All right, my word. Now we got some more people in the waiting room, so y'all put your seatbelts on because good golly, Miss Molly, before we pull up the next guest, I got to put some comments up, man, because these comments are commenting. Life Nation says, do you feel like you have some closure when it comes to that grooming? Let me tell you this, healing. Now this is the soul healer talking now, right? Healing comes in phases. And every time I keep peeling what my therapist used to say, the onion skin or the onion layer, I get closer and closer to completeness. But there are seasons of healing that I go through. And to be honest with you, naively, sometimes I just think, okay, finally it's over. And then I'll hit another pocket. And I'll hit another pocket. And now there is a space in healing where you become voice to voiceless. I want you to hear me clearly. There is a space in healing where you become voice to voiceless. And I am in that space of my healing now, where I am becoming a voice to the voiceless. Now I got some notes here. Do this too while you have a moment before you bring this guest on. Play that video, but more importantly, don't leave the victims in the bushes with no. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, guys. I had to read my notes. But retext that to me because I don't know what that means. And sorry, guys, I don't really have coof like that. But that is a part of the healing space that I am in right now. All right. Another one says, groomers look for the orphan. It's the truth. They look, I said the void. Remember that video clip I played? And that void, I believe, is in part 2 of the abuse series, the advice to the victim. They sit in the void in your life. The advice to the victims, they sit in the void. I want to play that? Text me. You got to text me full sentences. I'm sorry. They sit in the void they sit in the void in your life. All right. Before we pull up, now listen, there is a link pinned to the top of the comments. Okay. If you want to come on backstage and share your story, this is the time to do it. I'm going to read one more comment while I'm waiting on this text to come through. If we understand what church is, unfortunately, the formation is steeped in abuses beginning with the inception. Oh God, Shante, you know what? We need to have a one-on-one, and we might do this next week. We go live and talk one-on-one about this because we might as well go ahead and pull the wig off this thing. Oh, I got it. So let me say this, and then we're going to pull up somebody. Matter of fact, I'm going to say this. I'm going to run a commercial, and then we're going to bring our next guest on. But I'm going to say this quick. Victims. Number one, move forward. All right? Be angry, but don't remain angry. Okay? Process through your pain. Don't get stuck in your pain. How do you heal? Honesty. How some of you guys are coming on and telling your story. That's how you heal. Journaling, therapy, talking about it. Connect back to yourself. Go back to your source. I use the saying, go back home, whether that's literally or figuratively. Go back home. Connect with your purpose and let your purpose propel you forward. Find something to live for. And I'm going to stop right there because we got a lot to go. Listen, if you're watching this is part 3 of the abuse series. I have part 1, the prophetic warning to the abuser. Part 2, advice to the victim. Part 3, can adult be groomed, spiritual abuse and exploitation. I'm going to play this 60-second video, and then I'm going to bring the next guest on. They're going to tell their story. If you want to tell your story, have a conversation with me, talk to me. The link is pinned in the top of the YouTube comments. Click that link and come on. You don't have to have your camera on. You don't have to know me. If you want to share, you can share. I'm going to be back in 60 seconds. I would love for you to join our email community. In the description box of this video is a link. You click it, put your name and email address in the information, press submit, and you are going to be a part of our email community. But guess what? You got to check your spam box because there's a double opt-in. So you got to confirm that you truly meant to sign up. Would you like to be notified every time we go live? There's a simple way to do that. Join our free text club. All you got to do is text V Terrill Hill to this number, 833-458-3658. You just text it. Text V Terrill Hill to 833-458-3658. All right, this is the last announcement, and then we're going back to the content. I am gifted to help people become their best self, and I want to offer you a free consultation. There has never been one person that has had a free consultation with me that did not leave better than when they came, all right? All of that information I just went over is in the description box connected to this video. All right, let's get back to the content. All right, thank you so much for joining. We're in part 3 of the abuse series. We're going to go ahead and bring on the next person. If you're backstage, if you've already talked, go ahead and drop off and join back in the comments because we need the numbers. All right. Oh, wrong person. Hold on. What I done did, y'all? There we go. Kasha, how are you today?
I am good. Wow. For me, I didn't know I had an issue until I listened to Prophet Manasseh.
Oh, really?
So that's why I sent what I sent and even posted in our space, because he broke down what grooming was. It's those inappropriate things that people say that they put in the name of God, that they're helping you, but it makes you feel uncomfortable. And because of who they are, you're not going to say, well, I don't want to talk about that.
Right.
You're going to be totally open to them.
Right.
And it just leaves you in a really weird space. But
right.
I literally listened to him 3 times. I'm like, okay. Because I never put that in my space of an issue I was having. I mean, I got issues, yes.
Right.
But I didn't think that was one of them.
So what came up when you were listening to him?
Well, he was talking about how they'll ask you things. Well, for my situation, I was going through a counseling thing. They wanted to counsel me because I had been assaulted, but no one ever addressed the fact that I had been assaulted, even though I was barely a teenager. And this person was pretty much an adult. Wow. But it was like I was throwing myself at that person, and I'm now a promiscuous person.
Was this person? How did this person know you?
I knew their little brother, which was my age.
Okay, gotcha.
He was older than him, so he was his older brother.
Wow. Okay, gotcha.
So it was wrong from the beginning, and I wasn't taking an interest in him. I was too young. I was so young, I didn't really know what my parts were. So I couldn't really say what you were doing. Wow. So to actually have to now listen to someone try to explain to me and ask me what was I into or why did I want to do that? And I'm still in my head thinking, I don't want to think about this. I don't want to think about this. And I guess one of the biggest things I would take from this, and that's for any person that's giving any kind of counseling with a young person, they need to be licensed. That's number 1. Okay. And then number 2, if they're not licensed, I think both sexes should be in there. So if it's a pastor and he's got a wife, I think both of them need to be in there because it won't go left, or hurtful, or inappropriate. And that's where it left me. And I took it inward and kept it with me as me being a horrible person, out of control, and it kept me from having a normal relationship. I was old before I had a normal relationship. Yeah. But it was because all this stuff was put in my head that I need to pray for. It kept me at the altar. It kept me just feeling like a victim every day, like well, you gotta watch her because and it's like the whispering alone, because just because you told the pastor, please don't think he didn't tell other people.
Correct.
And then you heard that he told other people.
Correct.
Then you felt this certain kind of way, because I didn't even want to tell my parents about it, because they call themselves telling your parents. But what did you tell them?
Right.
And then I'm a minor. So
Right.
at what point did you think this was a crime?
Right. Right.
So, I mean, just dissecting all of that and putting it all into one basket and trying to understand it and get a grip of it. Like I said, I've been praying ever since I've been in this space to kind of try to take care of different issues that I know that I have. And like I said, like the onion leaf, you were saying, like the onion hull, it's like those layers and layers and layers. But I learn something more every day. And it's because I am seeking God and going inward, trying to find out what's going on. Because like I said, if Prophet Manasseh had never said that, that's the last thing I would have thought about is grooming, especially at church.
Right. Oh, so this happened with people in the church?
The minister, huh?
This happened with people in the church.
Yeah, within the church. They call themselves ministering to me because I need counseling, because I'm, I supposedly is doing these things, but I'm a minor. And that's another one I really wish people would think about. If you're a child, it's certain things you just don't think of on your own. An adult has to do these things to you. You do not wake up as a child wanting to do these things. And I just think it's just something about the church. It's a Jezebel spirit. No, some old man was preying on a child.
Right.
And that's what really makes me mad, because, you be attacking the victim.
Right.
And they can't help that. That's what happened to them. But to just sit there and, we got to pray for you. We got to watch you. What about that person that did it?
Correct.
So that's the only thing that hurts me. Us as a church, how we go at whatever happened. Because there are victims. And then even with the pastor situations that go on. At what point did you look at the pastor? Let's just say one of the members committed adultery with the pastor. Why you beat up the girl that started with the pastor when he the pastor?
Absolutely. That's the same thing with Thomas. Why you remove Thomas from the choir when the organist made a move? Here's what I say, and I want you guys, and I'm gonna let you finish, hold that thought, Kashai. Here's what I say. I don't care if the two parties are the same age. The person with the most authority is the responsible party to not cross the line.
That's correct.
I don't care if that person is coming at you and pining at you and grabbing at you and want you. It is your responsibility, if you are the leader, and if you cannot resist that temptation, you don't need to be in leadership. And if you're watching this right now and you are a leader and you don't have the discipline to resist people coming at you, save the people and back up a little bit.
Yeah.
Because you have people like Kashai and Thomas and myself who suffer from it. And you cannot blame. No, but if someone is coming to you, they're coming to you vulnerable. They're coming to you, even if they're coming to you because they want you. You are supposed to be equipped to not do that. And I am so sorry, Kashai. I hate the fact that you had to look at yourself as the bad person, that you were given a filter that you were a Jezebel or you were promiscuous, because you're not. And I hope that through what you heard through Prophet Manasseh's video and through this series and our talks and therapy and counseling and prayer and all the things you use, that you get a new identification on who you are.
Yeah.
Because I know you to be a queen. I know you to be a beautiful woman, and you did not deserve that.
Yeah.
And I pray that your soul gets replenished, restored, re-energized, recreated. I like that prayer, creating us a clean heart and renewing us the right spirit, not because we're sinners, but because some of us need a second chance.
Yeah.
And And I pray for your healing, Kashai. And I pray that, like I said to Thomas, once you come on the other side of this, that you become a voice to women as well, so that they don't have to go through that. But let me tell you this, you're a beautiful woman in a beautiful spirit, and you are not what they called you at all. And those of us in Safe Space, we know that. We know that. So thank you for sharing your story.
I just wanted to end with it. There are people that enjoy talking about sexual sins. I just want to put that out there. They enjoy it. I mean, be it homosexuality or any type of sexual sin, some pastors enjoy it. I don't know why, and they do. And that's how they make their victims, because they want to talk to you about it. It goes beyond preaching. We got to counsel you now, and I got to know details about what you're doing. So those are red flags. And I don't think anybody teaches on that or says anything about that. Like I said, Prophet Manasseh was the first person I've ever heard say that ever. And I've been in the church since a little bitty girl. And
I'm sorry. I remember growing up in the church, and it was required for me to share every time I did something sexual. If I had to masturbate, I had to go tell my pastor. If I watched porn, I had to tell my pastor. Even if I looked at someone's butt, I had to go tell my pastor. And I looked back, and I thought, because I was so sincere with it, I thought that was the right thing to do. And what I found out, like you said, I remember sharing, confessing to my pastor something, to be honest, I was embarrassed of. And he literally came back and just said straight up, yeah, I told so-and-so you did that.
Yeah. I'm talking to you personally, and you're sharing it with like everybody.
Yeah.
And that's a hindrance. And then it makes no one want to go to you.
And it's embarrassing.
Yes.
Because a lot of us, we're sharing it with you because we haven't even got a grasp of it yet. We're not ready to face it yet. So we're coming to you for help. We're not coming to you for a blowjob. We're not coming to you to be fondled or to share it. We're coming to you for help. Yeah. Now I have to hold my head down more because now I know other people know. Yeah. And if people want to know why church attendance has dropped like it has, watch this show, because this should not be named amongst the space called hell. Yeah.
And everybody in the church should know what's going on with you.
Yeah. And if you're part of a small church,
oh God, it's big or small, they don't care.
Yeah, you know what? True, because in the bigger church, it's amongst the leadership.
Yeah, so all the leadership want to say something to you, or they looking at you a certain kind of way.
Correct. And let me say this. If you are in a room, whether you're in a small church or big church or whatever organization, a job, whatever, and they're in a circle, and in that room, you're in a circle where everybody's sharing everybody's business, that also means when you are not in that circle, they are sharing your business.
Yes.
There is no such thing as you're in the inner circle.
No.
And ain't nobody gonna tell about me because I'm locked in. No, that's not how that works. Right. A dog that'll carry a bone, what it say, carry a bone will bring a bone. A dog with a bring a bone will carry a bone. Kashai, first of all, you look beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate who you are. And you already know, if you need me, I'm here, right?
I know. Thank you so much. I will always tell you thank you for this space, because like I said, we have to bounce this off of somebody that's not going to corrupt the situation.
Right.
Yeah. So this is a blessing. So, but I'll drop down.
All right. See. And see, hear this. All right. The person that's on, bear with me. I'm coming. Let me say this. And you can call it what you want to call a shameless plug. But when she said this space, she's talking about safe space. And let me tell you, safe space is a hallowed ground. We share, as we are sharing right now, this is how we share inside of safe space. And we cry, we support each other. Let me show you how it looks. Watch this. Here's John. We're praying for healing, prayers for healing you. Kashai with the hearts. You are amazing, Kashai. Very beautiful. Kashai, you didn't deserve what happened to you. Here's another one. Thank you, Kashai, for sharing and helping others that has been through the same thing. This is how we support each other inside of Safe Space. And there's a link inside of the video description box connected to this video with a free 7-day subscription. Click the link, sign up, and for 7 days, you can see how we support each other inside of Safe Space. Inside of Safe Space, you can DM me and ask me questions directly. I'll get the notification because it's a whole app, y'all. It's not it's web-based, but it's an app as well that you can download and be a part of. We have private lives every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. And then we have exclusive prayer sessions at 8:30 in the morning every Saturday. And we are a community of accountability, all right? Okay, if you're just coming on, there's a link pinned to the top of the YouTube comments. You can click that link and come on if you want to share your story, ask questions, leave a comment. It's up to you. We're going to bring the next person on now. And by the way, hi, my name is Terrill Hill, and welcome to Safe Space. Hey, Cedric, are you on? Talk to us, man.
Hey, how are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you loud and clear.
Wonderful. I apologize. I couldn't turn my camera on. I'm in the bed, but
that's fine.
So I've never really gave it sound to what grooming has been defined as, because I really didn't know what to call the experience I had back in my early teens. Just a quick background. I grew up in a single parent home. My brother and I were brought up by our mother. My parents divorced when we were young. However, my dad was still in our life, but we were only granted the opportunity by the courts to see him every other weekend.
Wow.
So my mom worked 2 jobs, so she kept us in the church. We grew up Baptist, well, primitive Baptist. And we grew up in the Baptist church, and she kept us in Sunday school, church, choir rehearsals. I mean, every time the church doors open, we were there. As we grew up, she wanted us to, go to the different conventions, church conventions, Fifth Sunday unions, all of that type of stuff. So we were around a lot of ministers and things of that sort because she I guess had an attraction to preachers. So we were always around preachers. So I remember one time my brother and I, we went over to one of the preacher's friend's house or whatever. And so they kind of knew at an early age that I was gay. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really verbalize it, but I really couldn't hide who I was. I was always a little bit on the feminine side or whatever. And, the church queen, all of that stuff, singing in the choir, la 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 la. So the preacher, like you mentioned, they go after the orphan or the ones they seem orphaned or try to fill a void. And so he knew that our dad wasn't really around. So he tried to step into that father figure. And one time we went over there to his house. My mom dropped us off. My brother went with her and I stayed there.
Right.
And he came to me. And I didn't know exactly what it was, but he said to me, and I quote, I've never forgot it. I've been holding on to it for about 20 something plus years. He came to me and he said to me, Cedric, what is it that you like to do? And that struck a nerve when I heard Prophet Manasseh go through the different stages of it. And I said, wow, this preacher said the same thing to me. He said, Cedric, what do you like to do? And I'm looking and I was confused. I was young then. I was like 15, 16.
Right.
And I didn't really know how to answer that question. And I was just like, what do you mean? And he grabbed my arm and he caressed my arm. And I was like, whoa, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I immediately ran and I called my mom. She didn't answer the phone. She was like, what's going on? Da, da, da. I said, Mom, I want to go home. I want to go home. And to this day, I shared it with her when I came out a couple of years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, maybe, when I came out officially to my parents. I shared this story with her, and to this day, she does not believe me.
Jesus.
She does not believe me. And to this day, she still has a relationship with him. When I go home periodically for the holidays, she'll say, "Oh, Pastor such and such said, hey." I'm like, "Mom, do you not remember what I told you a couple of years ago? This man asked me and said to me and did to me." No, he didn't have sex with me, but I felt violated. You grabbed my arm and sexually caressed my arm from the top to the bottom.
My goodness.
And and that has really stained my relationship with churches in general.
Good
Even
God.
though I love church
Right.
as the traditional sense, I love going to church. I've been to a
Right.
couple churches already, but
Right.
it's just something when you don't feel comfortable in that arena, and you don't feel comfortable enough to be yourself in its whole 100% transparency, being
Mm,
who you are authentically, and
mm,
not feel as though you're going to be judged,
mm.
or all of that stuff. So it's right now, fast forward 2023, I haven't been able to find a church home. I think I shared that with you before. I
Yes.
haven't been able still to find a church home. And I
Mm.
know that it's not that I don't believe God loves me, because I believe he does,
Right.
because I wouldn't still be here today if he did not love me. It's
Right.
just the fact of I can't sit in a ministry or organization where they condemn, make you feel less than. Oh, well, you can't do such and such because you're gay. Oh, but you can do this, but you can't do that.
Correct.
And
Correct.
it just really, it bothers me. So I just choose to stay home, or I'll stream a service or something like that. But being in the church in the traditional sense, and going and worshiping and being amongst the saints, I can't do well. I'm having issues trying to find that space for me.
How have you been able to? wh- How have you been able to be okay? How have you been able to survive, move on, knowing that you can't even find support at home?
To be honest, I surround myself with work.
Mm.
I work I work more than I'm at home sometimes. And sometimes I bring work home. So that's been my coping mechanism so far, is I work, 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 work. And every now and then I will turn on a stream or listen to a service or whatever at home, but I'm missing that piece.
Mm.
I know I am. I'm missing that piece, but it's just difficult to kind of find where I fit.
My. Cedric, I tell you this: if this was the private live that we have, I would go into prayer. I'm going to try to do this and act like I got some sense. All right, but I want to pray for you, Cedric. And I know this is the audible, and this ain't on the script, but I just want to say a prayer for Cedric. Safe spacers, y'all help me pray out there for Cedric Williams. God, I pray for Cedric now. I pray that he finds his path and he finds his door. I pray that is in front of him, hallelujah, he recognizes that door that is in front of him, he recognizes. And when he recognizes that door and walk through it, that he finds the peace, the healing, the love, the affirmation, the warmth, the ability to communicate. I sense that even in communication, that your life experiences have sort of choked your words up, and that there is a you inside of you that wants to come out, but you don't even know how to articulate. And I pray that in this healing space, and this opportunity, this divine appointment that brought Cedric to this live, that he finds the words to articulate the new him, that he finds the door, the portal to walk through, to go through, that accesses the new him. Cedric, I sense it's like you coming out. You have a coming out coming for you. This is not like coming out the closet, but it's like a new you or the original you, the you that was hidden because of pain and hurt and life and disappointment is coming out. And what I want to do is encourage you and strengthen you by the words that I speak to keep on walking down your path. I almost hollered. Your path got a door to it. And when you get to that door, walk through it. Do not doubt your path. Do not reconsider the direction you're going. You are headed in the right place at the right time. Don't ease up, move forward, Cedric. All right? Because this here is an appointment. This here is like God saying, I see you, I see you, I see you. I hear you, I hear you, I hear you. I embrace you, I embrace you, I embrace you as son. Trust your path. You are in the right purpose. You are in your promise. You are in your path. Move forward and ask God to allow you to open up your heart again. Just don't open it up just enough for survival or opening it up just enough to have a good relationship, but you deserve your heart to be all the way open. Come on, safe spacers, put in the comments, thank you, God, for an open heart. And I can't do that. But God is going to open up your heart for you again. So believe, believe, believe. You're going to achieve, achieve, achieve. And you're going to see the thing that you need for the next space in your life. All right? All right? So you're going to be okay, man. And you got my email address and you already, and you email me. And for those of y'all don't know, the first person that ever said you should open a church in Atlanta was Cedric. And I rebuke it right now. I rebuke it right now. All right, brother. I love you, man.
I love you too, man.
Yeah, and the comments are coming on. Thank you, God, for opening the heart for Cedric. Thank you, God, for an open heart. And let me tell you, we got prayer warriors. Safe space. We don't require you to have a certain belief system. The only thing we don't require religion, sexuality, race, or nothing. We require you to believe in yourself. But it just so happens Safe Space got some prayer warriors, and I guarantee you this: they're going to be hollering out your name before this week is up. All right. Love you, man.
Love you too. Thank you.
And I got your back. Call me if you need me, brother.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. All right. All right. Where are we at here? Woo. Hey. All right. Woo. Nah, it ain't gonna be because somebody need help. And I pray the prayer that I pray for Cedric, I pray to everybody struggling. Everybody that's still stuck, they feel imprisoned because the person that is imprisoning them is their voice from God. And I pray that an occurrence, a whirlwind, come to your space and blow you up out of there. If you're watching this, whether you're watching the live or the replay, there's a wind coming to your house and it's going to blow you out before the wind tear down the network you're in. Because I believe that anybody that is actively abusing people in spiritual spaces in 2024 is going to get exposed. And while y'all worried about TD Jakes, you need to be worried about your local pastor, because exposure is going to expose. And I said this before, and I say this again, up under prophetic unction for those of you that are listening to this. If you know your hands are dirty, if I was you, I would back up and go to washing your hands. Because you're going to think exposure going to come over here, but it's going to come over there. You're going to think you've already counted up the weak links in your network, the weak links in your organization. And you say, okay, well, this person, it ain't nobody going to believe them. Ain't nobody. And what you don't know is that there is a divine door opening up behind your back. Lord, I wish I was in the private community right now. There's a divine door opening up behind your back that's going to snap your neck. And your world will see it. Now, what do you mean by your world versus the world? Your world is those connected to you. I feel it right now. I said what I said, and I mean it. And y'all mark this, because exposure is coming. And when those jokers sent this whore to Jesus because she deserved to die, he basically said, those of you without sin cast the first stone. In other words, you can't call out nobody for doing what you've done. The only calling out needs to be done before the winds that you want on others come to your house is repentance. And if you don't repent, we'll all find out that you've been spent up. All right. I need to say this. If you are a victim, well, I went over that already. If you are a victim or have been a victim, there's a video called Advice to the Victim. And I played a little bit of excerpt of it before. You need to watch that. But I'm going to close with advice to the network. Now, I want y'all to hear me clearly. All right, hear me clearly. A lot of times we put emphasis on people who abuse, but we don't talk enough about those who enable the abusers. Lord have mercy. And there are some of you who are watching this piously as if the fire is not coming to your house as well. And let me tell you this, hear me clearly. The person that you are enabling will let your house burn before they burn. So here is my advice. Now, I'm reading the script from my episode 1, the prophetic warning to all abusers. No abuser operates alone. There is always a network of people aiding and hiding their secrets and abetting in their schemes and dirty work. If you know you are or were a part of such a network, I am telling you, you are not watching this by accident. Get out of it. Get out of it forever. Wash your hands clean. I want you to be clear that a serial abuser will not protect you when their back is against the wall. You think you're protected, you're not. There is no loyalty. You stick around when the ship is sinking and you will drown. They will blame it on you. They will say you did it. This is your opportunity to set yourself free and set others free. Stop enabling the abuser. Every abuser has a network that enables them. If the mother is abusing the child, the father knows it. The grandmother knows it. The mama knows it. The friend knows it. Even if it's verbal abuse. You know your good girlfriend be cussing them kids out and verbally abusing them, and you're turning your back because you don't want to start no trouble. Your hands are just as bloody. There's some of you out there that know your pastor's doing this. Well, no, I ain't gonna start. I don't want to start no trouble. That's the man of your hands are just as bloody. Lord have mercy. Do you really believe God is okay with you knowing you are aiding and abetting an abuser? Not the God I know. So consider this video your prophetic opportunity from the God that loves you to make it right on behalf of the victims. Now, I said this before and I'll say it again. I know what aiding and abetting abusers look like. There is somebody that I have harmed deeply, and I didn't even realize I harmed them until I came all the way out of the situation. And I really didn't know it until my producer asked me, aren't you a part of the network? And I said, oh my God, I am. Now, what has happened? Time has passed and hatchet's buried, I guess. And I wish to God I could just be like, I'm so sorry. And I hope that one day I have an opportunity to do that. The problem is it's nuanceical. And sometimes you have to just admit it. There are sometimes you networkers, you have to admit it within yourself. You know what? I was a part of it. I aided and abetted. I got to walk away from this. But you better at least admit it in your heart. All right. Now let me speak to the abuser real quick. I got about 5 more minutes. We about this piece. Oh, if you want to come on and talk, the link is pinned to the top. You have the opportunity to come on up until we bounce. All right. This is another abuser. This is another video reminding you to stop. Okay. The house is literally burning down all around you. Please stop. I want you to think about this progression that's moving fastly. In all of these cases, and I want to say this because a lot of people might think I'm doing this or that and the other. Well, look at the time stamps on my videos. It started with Keke Palmer, covered that. Then it went to Diddy and Cassie, covered that. And now TD Jakes and Manasseh has somewhere got into there. Now I'm covering that. I've been talking about this already. I've been talking about how this abuse things work. Okay. But outside of me, because y'all know, I know how to fight. But this ain't about me right now. This is a prophetic message. If this is speeding up, get out. If you know you are a manipulating, lying abuser, stop while you can before your hand is found in the pot. All right. All right. Okay. I'm going to play this video. There are 2 great videos. If you have not watched, it's in a playlist. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put this playlist up here for you guys real quick. And then I'm going to play this video, which really just highlights. Now, hold on 1 second. You might hear something. Okay, good. Which really highlights, hold on 1 second. It's called My Thoughts On. Give me a second real quick. Oh, hold on. I knew I was going to do this. I just knew it. I'm going to try to share it, but I don't know if I can share this. But I really wanted to share inside of the comments this playlist link for you all. But it don't look like I'm going to be able to. I'm not going to be able to, and I'm not about to keep on embarrassing myself like I don't know how to work stuff. So I'm going to leave it alone. Oh, good. Here I did. Here I got it. All right. I'm about to put this link in the comments. Okay. It's called the really every single one outside of the Bishop Carlton Pearson ones are about abuse, but more specifically, prophetic warning to all abusers, part 1, advice to the victim abuse series, part 2. And then, of course, this live is coming next. Now I'm about to put this link inside of the comments. Watch this link so you can get episode 1 and episode 2 of this abuse series. There's a prophetic message I'm about to play. All right. And that's on that. Love you guys long time. My name is Terrill Hill. I'm a soul healer. And a part of my soul healing is speaking the uncomfortable truth. I have a platform called Safe Space. And if you want to know what we do inside of Safe Space, we do this. If you were around when everybody came on stage and talked, we talk vulnerably and we talk openly. And I want to give you an opportunity to join. And all you got to do is click that link in the video description box connected to this video. It's to give you opportunity for a 7 free day trial. All right. It's a 7 free day trial, 7-day free trial, subscription. And if you join it, it's only $10. We have private lives every Thursday at 8:30. We decided to go public today. We have newsletters that get posted twice a week. We have discussion boards. We have a women's room. We have Sanctuary of Focus, which is our every Saturday, 8:30 in the morning prayer. All of that is inside of Safe Space. All right. And to join my email community, which is free, is inside of the description box. To join my text club to be notified when I go live is inside the description box. All the information you need to connect with me is inside the description box. If you are a victim, if you feel like you're stuck in the church, I offer consultations, free consultations to people who have never had a consultation before. I'm able to do this because I made it out. At a time where I should have poosh and ended life, I put my foot on the ground and moved forward. And now that I've found the secret on how to do it, I want to help you do it. And all of the information for the free consultation is also in the video description box connected to this video. All right. Here's a prophetic warning that I'm going to play, and then we're going to get out of here. Love you guys long time. See you on the next round.
So as it is with Puffy, the same thing will start happening within the Christian faith. God is giving his people divine justice. Every scandal to be uncovered. Do not be surprised what you're about to see. Don't be surprised. God is tired of the nonsense. God is saying, do not be surprised that over the next 5 to 10 years, and even starting in 2024, that there shall be a great falling away, because there shall be leaders who were once great. They're going to fall to nothing.
I hope you enjoyed today's show. I really, really, really want to connect with you, all right? I would love for you to join our email community. In the description box of this video is a link. You click it, put your name and email address in the information, press submit, and you are going to be a part of our email community. But guess what? You got to check your spam box because there's a double opt-in. So you got to confirm that you truly meant to sign up. So as soon as you sign up, about 3 minutes after, check your spam box and let these people know this ain't spam. Would you like to be notified every time we go live? There's a simple way to do that. Join our free text club. All you got to do is text V Terrill Hill to this number, 833-458-3658. You just text it. Text V Terrill Hill to 833-458-3658. I am gifted to help people become their best self, and I want to offer you a free consultation. There has never been one person that has had a free consultation with me that did not leave better than when they came, all right? All of that information I just went over is in the description box connected to this video.